All right, I'm not gonna lie. The angels are being pretty sassy right now. I'm hearing like, can you relax? Like, can you relax? Can you calm down into this energy that I'm calling you into? Like, can you soften into this trust energy? This is coming directly from God. Can you soften into this energy for me? Can you do that for me? This might actually be more difficult for you than being strong, than showing up, than putting in extra hard work. It might actually be more difficult for you to show up in a soft energy, to reverse, to bring it back, to call it in, to rein it in, to calm down, to sink into a flow of structure, but soft structure. Nothing too heavy. Like, there's no heavy lifting coming in here. God, thank you. It feels good. The energy that you're moving into, it feels like you are stepping into your purpose. It feels like you are aligning with your purpose. It also feels like you don't need to make a very big change to whatever you're doing, just like very small changes here and there. For example, specifically what's coming to mind is the way that you exercise, the way that you eat, and staying consistent, remaining consistent in your workflow while still allowing room for creativity is specifically what's coming through. When the spotlight is on you, it is because I called it to you, is what God is saying. When the spotlight is on you, it is because I, God, called it to you. Do not ever, ever, ever question yourself when that spotlight is on you. When you are getting the attention, when you are getting the admiration, when you are giving your acceptance speech, do not ever question your value or your worth. Your worth when you walk into these rooms that I opened the doors for you to walk into, is what God is saying to you. It's almost like a how dare you. It's dramatic. How dare you? It's very playful energy. By the way, God is playful. God has a sense of humor. And when it comes to you, God doesn't mess around. When something is happening in your life, it's because God needs you to see it, God needs you to be there, and God needs you to witness the miracles, the experiences, the magic of your life. Do not ever question the goodness of your life. And you know what's coming through is like you specifically, you are somebody who is able to find gratitude in some of the darkest of times. You are able to find gratitude in every moment, acceptance in every moment, not even understand, like you don't even need to seek understanding, just acceptance of what is. Full trust, like your trust, the way that God gets excited when you just trust and lean into that flow energy, that harmonious energy of like, yeah, this just happened. Thank you, God. Moving on. The way that God literally just like, that's my baby. Like that's my girl. That's my boy. Yeah. You've got a really solid partner, friendship in God. And when I speak of God, I mean true God. You know, this everything, the source of everything that is. You have a trustworthy partner who is rooting for you, who is opening doors for you, who is providing for you, who is loving you every step of the way. Also, some of you need to hear it when God puts you in timeout. It's because you need to be there. So calm down and you'll get your ice cream afterwards. Whatever it is, whatever your parenting style is, just trust a little more, relax a little more, sink into that flow of release, receive, and consistency in what you know you are being guided to do.
Dear soul, before you leave, don't let this moment slip away. If something inside you stirred while listening to this message, that wasn't an accident. Sometimes God speaks so gently that only the heart can hear him. This may be one of those moments. Right now, place your hand over your heart and say these words with faith. I am chosen. I am deeply loved. I am not forgotten. God is writing a beautiful story through my life, and my greatest chapters are still ahead of me. Say it again, and this time, believe every word. Let these words become stronger than your fears, louder than your doubts, and greater than every disappointment you've carried. Whenever the enemy whispers that you've been forgotten, remember this moment. Remember that heaven knows your name, your tears have been seen, your prayers have been heard, and your miracle is still on its way. If this message reached your heart, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone you love. There is someone out there who feels alone tonight. Someone who has almost stopped believing that things can change. Your share could be the very answer to the prayer they've been crying in silence. And if God places it on your heart to help us continue sharing these messages of faith, hope, and encouragement, you can support this ministry through a super thanks, whether it's $5, $10, $10, $20, or whatever you feel led to give. Every offering allows these words to reach another hurting heart searching for hope. May the Lord bless you beyond anything you could imagine. May He restore everything you've lost, strengthen you when you feel weak, open doors no one can shut, and pour out His peace over your life. May your kindness return to you multiplied, and may you one day look back on this very moment and realize that it was the beginning of everything God had been preparing for you all along. Thank you for being part of this family of faith. Together we are reaching hearts, lifting weary souls, and reminding the world that God's love never fails. There is a particular kind of exhaustion that comes from being strong for too long. Not the physical kind, though that is real too, though internal kind. The kind that accumulates quietly over months or years. In the specific and often invisible labor of someone who has decided, at some level beneath conscious thought, that the safest and most reliable strategy for navigating a life that has not always been gentle is to simply work harder than everyone else. To show up more prepared, to think further ahead, to never be the one caught without a plan, without an answer, without the particular armor of competence that has served so well for so long. You have been doing this for a long time, and you are very good at it. But here is the thing that the angels, and there is really no other way to say this, are being very direct about right now. Not unkindly, with a warmth and a playfulness that carries genuine affection underneath the directness, but directly nonetheless. Can you just relax? That question landed in a way that I suspect is worth sitting with, because your first instinct upon reading it was probably not comfort. It was probably something closer to resistance. Because relaxing, genuinely, not performatively, in the full-bodied sense of releasing the grip you have maintained on outcomes and timelines, and the constant low-level management of how things are going, is actually harder for you than almost anything else on the list of things you do well. You are someone who thrives in the mode of effort, who has built things, survived things, shown up for things that required everything you had, and then found more to give beyond that. Striving is familiar. Striving has produced results. Striving has, in more ways than you can count, been the thing that kept you going when going felt impossible. But what is being asked of you right now is not striving. It is softening. And for someone like you, softening is the harder thing, the counterintuitive thing. The thing that requires a different kind of courage than the kind you have spent years developing. Not the courage to push through, but the courage to release. To trust that what is in motion will stay in motion without your constant shepherding. To allow yourself to be carried for a moment by something larger than your own effort. Here's what I want you to understand about where you actually are right now. Because the story of your current season is more beautiful than the anxious version of it that your mind has probably been narrating. You are stepping into your purpose, not moving toward it, stepping into it. The distinction matters. Moving toward implies distance still to be covered. Stepping into implies arrival, the threshold being crossed, the foot landing on the other side of something you have been approaching for a long time. And the adjustments required to fully inhabit this arrival are not the grand, disruptive, everything must change variety. They are small, specific, sustainable. The way you move your body, perhaps shifting towards something gentler, more nourishing. The way you eat, small calibrations toward what actually sustains you, rather than what is merely convenient. The way you show up in your work with the particular combination of reliable structure and genuine creative openness that allows your best to actually emerge. That is it. That is the whole prescription. Not a reinvention, a refinement, which means you are closer than you think, which means you may already be there. And when the spotlight finds you, when the attention and the admiration and the recognition arrive, as they have been arriving and will continue to arrive, there is something very specific being said about how you are supposed to receive it. Without question. Not without gratitude. You are someone who carries genuine gratitude almost instinctively, and that is one of your most extraordinary qualities. But without the particular self-undermining habit of looking at a good thing that has arrived in your life and immediately reaching for the reasons it might not be real, might not last, might have been given to someone more deserving by mistake. There is a message coming through that I can only describe as being delivered with the specific combination of absolute seriousness and gentle playfulness. How dare you question yourself in a room I opened the door for you to walk into? There is something almost clarifying about how direct that is, because it reframes the question of self-doubt in a way that most of us have never considered. We tend to think of questioning our worth as a form of humility, as the appropriate response to good things, the counterweight that keeps us grounded. But what this is suggesting is something different, that the questioning is not humility, that it is, in a very real sense, a refusal to honor what has been specifically arranged for you, a polite but firm rejection of the grace being extended. You who has found gratitude in some of the darkest moments of your life, are someone who already knows how to receive hard things with grace. The invitation now is to receive good things with the same quality of acceptance, without the asterisk, without the waiting for the catch. Here is the insight that sits at the center of everything being communicated right now, the one that changes the texture of your relationship with trust when you actually let it arrive. Relaxing is not the absence of faith, it is the fullest expression of it. When you are pushing and managing and monitoring and working to ensure that everything stays on track, even when that effort comes from the best and most genuine intentions, you are operating, at least in part, from the assumption that things will not hold together without your intervention. That the universe needs your help to function on your behalf. That the doors will close if you stop pressing on them. But you have a partner in this. A genuine, actively invested, specifically delighted in you partner who has been opening doors before you arrived at them. Who arranged the spotlight before you knew you were going to be standing in it. Who has been providing and planning and orchestrating the specific convergence of circumstances that has brought you to this exact moment. Not as a bystander to your effort, but as the silent collaborator that your effort has been partnering with all along, even when you did not fully feel it. Trust is not passive. Trust is the active and courageous choice to believe that the collaboration is real, that you are not doing this alone, that the support is genuine, that the goodness is not a mistake that will be corrected when someone notices it was allocated in error. And the specific delight that arrives in that collaborative partnership when you genuinely trust, when you move through something difficult and emerge, saying thank you, moving on with the full-bodied acceptance of someone who does not need to understand every step to believe in the direction. That delight is real. It is the particular joy of a partner who is rooting for you, watching you finally receive what they have been trying to give. There is also something important to say about the moments when things pause, when the direction changes unexpectedly. When what you are building towards seems to redirect without your permission or your understanding. These moments are not failures. They are not punishments or signs that you have done something wrong or taken a wrong turn. They are placements. Deliberate, purposeful, designed for your benefit placements in a season of stillness that is producing something the motion could not. The resistance to the pause, the urge to do something, to fix something, to find a way to restart the momentum is understandable. It comes from the same place that has made you successful, the same drive that has carried you through the hard things. But sometimes the pause is the work. Sometimes what needs to happen cannot happen while you are moving. And the intelligence that is managing your life on a larger scale than you can always see is wise enough to know that. Sink into it. Not permanently. Just enough to receive what the stillness is trying to give you. You who has carried gratitude through your darkest times in a way that most people cannot manage, even in their easiest ones, are being told something that deserves to land fully. That capacity for gratitude, the ability to find the yes in situations that have every right to produce only grief, is not a coping mechanism. It is a spiritual gift. It is the quality that makes you someone through whom grace can move, through whom miracles can be witnessed and shared and multiplied, through whom the goodness of life becomes visible to others who are still too close to their own difficulty to find it on their own. And that gift is exactly why what is being arranged for you is being arranged. Not as a transaction, not because you earned it through your gratitude or your suffering or your continued choosing of trust when everything gave you reasons to stop, because that quality of openness, that genuine and hard-won acceptance of what is, creates the kind of receptivity that allows extraordinary things to arrive and to be fully received rather than immediately rationalized away. The practice is not complicated. It does not require a new skill set or a reinvention of who you are. Release what you cannot control. Not with the white-knuckled effort of someone who is trying to let go. With the gentle practiced exhalation of someone who has done this enough times to know that what they release does not disappear. It is simply moved from their hands into hands more capable of carrying it without strain. Receive what is offered without immediately redirecting it into usefulness or analyzing it for sustainability. Simply receive it for a moment the way you would receive something genuinely beautiful. With full presence and without the urgent need to do something with it. Remain consistent in what you know you are being guided toward. Not perfectly. Not without the occasional day when consistency feels like the last available resource and you are not sure you have it. But in the direction, always in the direction. This is the rhythm. This is the formula that the current seasons is asking for. And it is working. Even when you cannot feel it working. Even when the evidence of progress is slow to surface. Even on the days when trusting feels like the most demanding available option. Especially on those days. Your partner in this is not watching you from a distance, hoping you figure it out. They are right beside you, delighted when you trust, patient when you don't, and never, not for a single moment, not rooting for you. Can you feel that? Can you soften into it? Just a little, that is all it takes.